Hi guys, Sandy Ingram here. Welcome. In today's video, we're going to discuss Western banking versus Islamic banking versus the IQD adjustment. I have placed a chart on the channel's blog that shows the differences, the major differences between the two banking systems. Now, on the surface, people might tell you that the core difference between Western banking and Islamic banking is one of the issues or reasons surrounding the IQD currency adjustment. But that's not exactly true, at least not anymore. Iraq can operate both banking systems at the same time. Yep, you heard me correct. Iraq, the Central Bank of Iraq, can operate both systems, the Islamic system of banking, way of banking, and the Western way of banking at the same time. So you see, they are much more advanced in their banking reform than we realize. But here's the issue. Many countries, including Malaysia, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, have conventional banking and Islamic banking operating under one central bank. Therefore, it was no big deal for the CBI, the Central Bank of Iraq, to implement in the beginning the same type of capabilities. So let's look at the chart. Now, here on the chart, there are three columns in the chart that feature Western banking versus Muslim Islamic banking. Now, the main principle is Western banking earns income mainly through interest on loans. And we all know, all of us that are from the West, we understand that completely. In Muslim banking, they avoid interest. Interest can be charged and paid on savings, loans, mortgages, and credit cards in Western banking. But in Islamic banking, it's called riba. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's generally prohibited. So you have to ask yourself, well, how the hell are they making money? Well, that's a very good question because some of the wealthiest people in the world are under Islamic banking, but the Western world does not report on them because we do not have standards for Islamic banking. Now, when we go to risk, the borrower in Western banking usually carries the financial risk. But in Islamic banking, bank and customers may share profits and losses depending on the agreement. So you see, in Islamic banking, the banks hold more responsibility for the financial growth of its customers. Now, in loan structure, the bank gives you a loan. You as a customer in America, the Western world, the UK, most of Europe, you, the customer, must pay back the entire amount of the cash plus the interest. Now, that's how the banks become wealthy. In the Islamic world, banks may buy an asset, lease it, or sell it to the customer at an agreed profit. So on one hand, in Islamic banking, the banks are held more accountable. On the other hand, the banks are more powerful. Are you seeing where I'm going? Now, once you get this, once you truly understand it, it will become clear as day how you can turn your financial picture completely around, and you will understand the process of building real wealth. Now, as we go on down, there's other differences, major differences. We get to speculative investments. Now, speculative investments is big deal. That's big business in the Western banking world, but only to a certain degree will banks finance speculation. However, in the Islamic world of banking, excessive uncertainty, remember those words, excessive uncertainty and gambling like speculation is prohibited. Now, I can't get a straight answer from anyone who has the credentials to speak on it, whether or not the stock market is considered excessive uncertainty in the Islamic world. Now, I'm not so much worried about the stock market because Iraq has a stock market, so that has been allowed. It's legal in Iraq. There is a stock market. But I'm very much concerned about the Forex market. And the reason why the channel is so concerned about that is because if on any level Iraq as a whole views the Forex market as excessive uncertainty or gambling like speculation, they would not join the Forex market. And that concerns me because that means possibly, more than likely, they're going to leave the currency as a closed currency. Now, a closed currency means that the currency is only traded and used within the country. Even as I'm in this country that I'm in, Georgia, the country, not the state, there are quite a few Muslims in the city. Even though this is a city like Las Vegas, there's gambling casinos everywhere. Yet there are still Muslims who are visiting this city and vacationing in this city. And because I am living in apartment hotel, there are a lot of owners of the apartments in this hotel that rent out their units. It's as an investment. So I see a lot of traffic of a lot of different people. I've met people from Switzerland, Greece, Egypt, and Lebanon. I know. Different places. And they all converge on this one city because it is family oriented. And it's also very, very much nightlife for those who are not Muslim. So when you're sitting in Russia and you're surrounded by all these different ways and cultures, Russia has taken it upon themselves to deliver dual system banking for people using the Western world and also using the Islamic world. Now, Georgia is an independent country, but yet they do a lot of digital currency here as well. So I'm not qualified to make a decision on which banking system is best, but it's important for you as IQD investors to understand the difference and understand that this is why you don't see Iraq jump into situations that we would find comfortable and that would resemble currency value increase to the level that we are looking for.